back at it. Hope you guys are doing well. How you doing, Graham? How you doing, Miss ATL Naomi? How are you, Fat Even? I want you guys to get in here because we have some updates. My girl Tisa, she's coming out and she's actually saying that we're going to find out exactly what happened that led up to Joe doing what he did to Ashley, unaliving her. You know what I'm trying to say. Recently, late last night, we got a word that Joe has finally spoke out. People are calling it Chat GPT, but nonetheless, he has spoken out from his very own account, his social media account. Now, people are questioning, is this really Joe that's speaking out on his account, or did he get his assistant or somebody else to do so? Because it could be either or. We also want to know, is he in jail in Africa or is he not? Did he get his passport? Is he in America or do they still have his passport and he's still in Africa? We are not clear of anything. People are saying, you know what? They believe that he's out because if you guys remember a couple of days ago, TMZ came out with an article and they put out there that Ashley family decided to ban Joe from attending the funeral as if he had the option to go to the funeral. And a lot of people are putting two together as saying, well, it's possible that he's been in America and he wanted to go to the funeral, but he got banned and said, hey, I don't want you to attend the funeral. And TMZ got a hold of this news. Why is TMZ getting hold to the news that Ashley family banned Joe? Did Ashley family call TMZ and say, hey, you guys, we got some updates. Joe just tried to come to the funeral. We told his ass no. Did Joe people call TMZ and say, hey, we want to let people know that we wanted to go to the funeral, but they won't allow us to? I mean, it gives very strange vibes. And people want to know who is linking up with who and why would TMZ push that news story? I mean, is that even news? But it's a lot of things to be talked about. It's a lot of things to be discussed. I do have an open link here. So if you guys want to come up here and speak about it, I will be going through 3 different YouTube channels. The most popular people that's covering it, which is Trent, Tisa, and Fumi. I think I want to start with Tisa because she's breaking some news. I believe that Fumi and Trent, they're just talking about the funeral details. And she did have a funeral, you know. They're not showing pictures of the open casket. They said it was an open casket. Nobody is really giving detail how she looked or what she had on. I saw bits and pieces of her brochure for the funeral, and I did see the Chanel. So they did represent, Chanel because that's probably one of her top designers. If you knew Ashley, you knew she loved to dress in fashion. You knew she was a fashion girly. So shout out to all the fashion girlies. One day I hope to be in that lane just a little bit. I don't want to be like a diva fashion, but I do love clothes. I do love shopping. I mean, I can shop 24/7. I shop online and I shop in store. My favorite past thing to do before I go to sleep, I roll around in the bed and I'm on my phone and I'm shopping. I'm window shopping online. I'm going to stores and I'm looking at stuff and I'm adding shit in my cart. That's what I do like 30 minutes before I go to bed. That's what I do every fucking day, every fucking night. That's what I just love to do. I love to be cuddled and just shopping online. It's so cute. So let's go here. Let's get the likes up. I appreciate if you guys can help me get the likes up. And I'm going to be looking in the comment section. Island says, let's go, Joe. He put out some fake about Ashley. All right. So let's hear what Miss Tisa has to say. And she's mad. She's really upset about this.
Ashlee Janae's best friend is
all right. Let me
done playing games. You guys, if you don't know, she has publicly called Joe out and said she can't wait till he is under the jail or maybe playing Pokemon.
All right, I know that's right. So this is coming from Ashley, best friend, and she says she cannot wait to Joe hit jail. And I want to know, do you guys all want Joe to go to jail? Press 3 if you want Joe to go to jail. I know I want him to go to jail. But jail, what jail do you guys want him to be under? Do you want him to go to jail under America, or do you want him to go to jail under Africa? Um if I had the choice, I don't know, honey. Whoever, whatever jail is worse, whatever jail is going to be strict. I feel like in Africa, they can pay their way out of that jail. Like he can be in jail, but his people can bribe them. And next thing you know, he's out, you know? In America, shit, Trump can pardon him. I don't know, you know? But we will have to see. Looking here at her homegoing, the magazine pages, it says sunrise. That's when she was born, April the 5th, 1995. And she died sunset, April the 9th, 2026. So she died 4 days after her birthday, you know? That's crazy. So she got to see what? She just turned 31. She was spent what, 4 days being 31. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. All right, come on.
With his cellmates. Anyway, we are going to get into this because if you guys don't know, Ashlee Janae was actually laid to rest. Now, TMZ and the major news outlets are very upset that they were not invited to the funeral. We are going to talk about that because it creates a big problem that I think Joe is.
Why do TMZ want to be at the funeral? Do they go to funerals nowadays? I think that is so disingenuous for TMZ, which is known as a gossip blog, want to go to the funeral. What are they going to do? What questions are they going to ask? I mean, are they going to what do you guys feel about that? Tisa said that they want to attend the funeral. Press 1 if you want them to attend, press 7 if no. They should not be able to attend. And thank goodness that the parents, they have some morals and values and they decided to say no, TMZ, you're not invited. Joe is not invited and TMZ is not invited. And it seems like Tisa is making a case that TMZ and Joe might have some connections there. They might be some friends there. It's something with TMZ and Joe. That's very interesting. And you guys can say, y'all can't say much about the parents. The parents have been solid. They have been quiet. They have not been turning this into a circus. They have not cussed out all the men that have been talking crap about their daughter. They've been keeping quiet, even though they probably want to. I want to on their behalf, but they've been keeping it very quiet and, classy and professional. And for them to say no, TMZ, you're not allowed. That speaks volumes because a lot of people will be like, come on, more press, more press. We want all the press here. We want to get our name in the blog and we want more attention and more attention. But the parents are saying attention is not what we want. We want results. We got her body. Now we need to make sure that we get our ducks in a row in order to get him to do jail time. So good for them. Let's go.
Counting on. Speaking of Joe, everybody flipped out on him the way I did because they saw what he wrote as not only disrespectful, disingenuous, but also full of lies. First, before we talk about what happened at the her when she was laid to rest, let's get into what her best BFF actually spit out. Okay, so here's what Savannah Britt, this is Ashley's BFF, she's the girl that actually rang the alarm and got the media coverage. She got this in front of Joe Budden, who apparently was a big friend of Ashlee Janae, and also even academics went about that. And King Incel is speaking on a woman, a black woman. Yeah, it's just horrific. Anyway, this was her response to Joe's chat GTP eulogy when she said there's no adequate words to describe the total devastation, emptiness, and shock I feel after losing my best friend. Now, we know what Ashley's parents are probably thinking. I think we know what the public's thinking, but now we definitely know what Ashley's BFF feels. And I honestly.
All right, so let's get to it, Tisa. All right, so A lot of word salad for someone who gave her family zero answers for 11 hours. We see the performance, Joe. The hotel staff saw the fight. What? Oh my God. Did y'all see that? It was a fight. Did not tell you that Joe was putting paws on Ashlee. I told you guys that. I said this wasn't just an argument. This wasn't just a miscommunication like the mom said it was. I said this was a fight. He was putting paws on her. They was hearing people bodies being slammed up on doors and walls and walls. I mean, this was some this was a fight, and now the best friend is confirming what I already knew, that Joe was putting paws on her. All right. It says, we've had plenty of time to update your profile pictures. You letting um what type of rumors circulate to save yourself, because your statement says nothing about mental health. You aren't mourning a loss. You're managing a PR crisis. And this ain't my first rodeo. Keep writing your weak scripts. It's just more evidence for the courts. I truly can't wait until you're locked up, okay? Playing some Pictionary with your cellmates. So that is Ashlee's best friend. What do you guys think about this? Whoa. So if I had to put in my own words, Ashley friend says that all you do, Joe, is talk about word salad. That whole thing that you put out yesterday, it was bull crap. You were silent for 11 hours. You didn't care about Ashlee then. You wasn't her best friend then. If you was her best friend, Joe, you should have talked to the parents and say, hey, you guys, this is what's going on, you know? But you didn't do that. You left the parents hook, line, and sinker. You left them to fend for themselves. And if Ashlee was such a best friend, you wouldn't do her parents like that. You would treat her parents like your parents. I have best friends and I treat their parents like my parents. My best friend mom is like my second mom. I eat her dinners. I go over there. I spend time with her. You know, if anything goes wrong, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to give her a full report. I'm going to be there for her. I'm going to console her. If she calls my phone, I'm always going to answer. I'm going to do whatever I can to make her more comfortable with this situation. We're going to mourn together. I'm not going to just be like 11 hours ghosting her and just ignoring her. And you're a man. You're a man. And why do I bring sex involved? Because you are the protector. I mean, she died under your protection. So you have failed as a man. I want to know, do in our society, is a man still a protector? Press 7 if a man is still protector, press 10 if he's not. In my world, a man is a protector. I don't know what y'all got going on over there, but in my world, the man is always a protector. So in my book, he failed because he did not protect her in his care. He was fighting her. That's not protecting when you're fighting a girl and you're a whole man. Okay? I mean, it's so many things that you can do. If I'm a man, Joe, and I'm arguing with my significant other, I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave. I'm going to say, you know what, babe, you got this. I'm out. If she tries to pull on me, I take a risk, move her to a side and I'm out. I'm out. People also said that men can bear hug women in order to get them to calm down or not to be irate. And if I'm a man first, I'm not going to be with a woman that's going to hit me, or I'm not going to be with a woman that I will always have to have this high, intense argument. That doesn't come overnight. That comes in the beginning. I mean, when you're courting someone, when you're getting to know someone and you start to see their rage and their outrage, I don't care how much I love her, my feelings are. I care about my respect. more than I care about your feelings. More than I care about you loving me emotionally, I care about respect. So if I'm getting disrespected, I'm going to opt out. And of course, maybe I get crying for a couple of days, but I get over it. I mean, feelings come and grow. Feelings come and go. Feelings come and go. When you can love someone for a good month and love changes, love is not consistent, love is not permanent. A person that loved you today, that love is not permanent. Love is fragile. Love goes up and down. Love comes and goes. So I'm not gonna place my bet and just stay with someone that disrespect me based on a feeling that I get in my heart. Fuck that heart. So yeah. So hey Cece, how you doing? Cece donated $5. Thank you so much. And you guys, please like the video. I really appreciate that. If you guys help and like the video. J Rose says, I don't blame them for their silence. You talking about the parents? Yeah, I mean, the parents, I feel like they're not even silent. They're silent on the fact that they're not coming out here saying anything, but they're doing the work. They had the funeral, they got her body back to America. When most people say, you guys, we're not going to get her body there, that speaks volumes. That is louder than any chit chat they can be talking about. They can be out here yapping their mouth, right? They can be so loud, but that is nothing. The fact that they got the body back to America, that speaks louder than any yapping, yapping, yapping. And the fact that they had a funeral, they came out with the plan, they set a date, and they worked together. Those parents, they're not even together anymore, but they came together as a family to do this. And that speaks volumes to me. So they may not be yapping their mouth, but they definitely moving. Okay. And their movements is very loud. So a man is supposed to protect for sure. Well, it looks like these men are doing the opposite of protecting. They are being your downfall. They are purposely unaliving these girls. So let's go ahead. Come on, Tisa.
I think this basically shows what the family's feeling, because I feel like if it wasn't, they would have she would have never posted this out of respect for the parents. I feel like the parents are kind of cued in. Here's what she put. She said, that's a lot of word salad for someone. If you don't know what he said, go watch my video yesterday. I make fun of the whole thing. It was disrespectful. It was chat GTP-ish. It literally was what somebody who barely knew person, they let me have the zero answers for 11 hours. We see the performance, Joe. The hotel stalled the fight. Now, this is another interesting piece of information that is leaking out. And this is what they actually need to do. I know a lot of people don't like online blogs. I know a lot of people want to be like, you let the authorities happen. But I also know that a lot of people don't understand the way this new media game is played. They need to strategically leak information every single day to keep Ashlee's name in the headlines. The attention is the only thing that's going to shame the Zanzibar police force, investigation, government so much that they do not dare try any funny business. Because let me tell you, if they can make this go away, it'll be better for everybody. Think about it. Think about it. But anyway, here's one important piece of information she let slip out. Hotel staff saw the fight.
That's what I was talking about. What do you guys think about that? The hotel saw the fight. They saw Joe whooping on Ashlee. Do you really think Ashlee can beat Joe? No. Ashlee is a female. Joe is a male. Males always dominate females. And Joe is older. He's thicker. He got way more muscle mass. She's smaller. He was hitting her. And do you think that he purposely unalived her, or do you think he just killed her in the heat of the moment? Like he was just choking her and he was so upset. And then next thing you know, she was dead. You know? What do you guys think? Now that we know they were fighting a lot, I think that he unalived her in the heat of the moment. I think that he was putting paws on her and she was still, you know, speaking up, fighting back, or possibly not. And he was just like so angry and so filled with emotion that he unalived her. And he don't seem like a person that's in control or balanced. He seemed like he gets off his rockers. The reason why I say that, because he didn't stay consistent talking to the family. He let 11 hours go by and he just ignored them. To me, that screams that he is emotional unbalanced. He didn't know how to properly talk to them. He didn't know how to fake it. He was not calm. He was pissed. He was feeling some type of way and he didn't know how to deal with it. So he just said, F it, F it, F it, F it, F it.
Not an argument, not a misunderstanding, not a something. Remember, when the police were like, oh, they were separated because a fight, which confirms that there was a physical fight that was so horrible, it needed to be separated. We now have it wasn't just, we all guessed it was probably DD, but there was a physical altercation, not an argument, but a fight. And the hotel staff saw it, not heard it, but they saw it. So there had to be something physically happening. Okay, this is a new piece of evidence, and this is good to gear up to make sure that they don't think that they're just going to let Joe slide away. Now, it does seem that Joe got his passport back when Ashlee's body was returned to her family. Again, he was not a suspect. He was only a witness.
Okay, well, that's crazy. That's crazy. The reason why I say it's crazy is because Tisa says Joe got the passport back the day the body was returned to America. What day was that? That was a while ago, right? That was like a week or a couple of weeks ago. They just had a funeral yesterday. So that was a couple of weeks ago, right? But we have another big content creator named, what's her name? Queen Sheba. Now, Queen Sheba comes out just what, 3 days, 4 days ago, and said that Joe is currently in jail eating bread and beans. So Queen Sheba and Tisa Tales are telling two totally different timelines, two totally different stories. And it's up to us to figure out which one is the truth and which one is a lie. What do you guys think? Who's telling the truth? Who's telling a lie, guys? What's going on? It can't be both. According to Tisa, he's been back in America with the passport. According to Queen Sheba, just a couple of days ago, he was in jail eating bread and beans. All right, well, I'll let you guys figure that out. Let me know what you guys come up with.
And they held his passport while they still wanted to question him. When they were done questioning him, they gave the passport back. Don't believe me? The Tanzania family won't even confirm that Joe, the Tanzania authorities won't even confirm that Joe.
All right. Hey, beautiful. Did you get a message about FEMA giving you a beautiful shout out? No, I did not, Smiles. But thank you so much, Smiles. I really appreciate that. That warms my heart to know that, I'm acknowledged by her. She's so fabulous and she's so successful and she's all of the things. So I thank you and I appreciate that. Okay. I thank her for acknowledging me. All right.
Joe is still being held. And judging by the way Joe could actually tweet this out, and on top of that, TMZ saying, is Joe invited, lets us know that Joe could have gone there. Again, y'all keep believing this Tanzanian government and you keep believing that the U.S. Embassy is going to come to save the day when they are monitoring the case. They are not overseeing the investigation. They are monitoring. Monitoring means just taking the information and passing it along. They are not, and you can call the U.S. Embassy yourself, because I have. It does in no way mean that they are involved in the.
Man, did you hear what Tisa said? Tisa said she called the embassy herself. She called over there in Africa herself. And I believe it. I mean, she's so passionate. She's so mad. I believe that she have done her homework to say whatever she says, she feel like it's the right, so who do I believe? I think I want to believe Queen Sheba. I want to believe that because I want him to be in jail. I want him to suffer eating bread and beans. That's what I want. But Tisa, she sounds so convinced. And as I don't know. I might be leaning over to Tisa right now. I'm waiting on Queen Sheba to come out to speak out about this. I'm waiting for her to give a rebuttal or something and let us know, hey, I got it wrong, or hey, I got to give you guys an update. The person I was talking to getting this information, she gave me the wrong information, X, Y, and Z, because, it's crazy. I believe Queen Sheba was like, she didn't want to reveal her sources because they, I guess, would get in trouble. But hell, if the source is giving out false information, what the fuck? You know what I mean? But let's go.
Investigation in any way, and they cannot force Tanzania's hand in any way at all. Anyway, let's get back into it. She said the hotel staff saw the fight, so there was a physical altercation. That's even more reason that he'd be the main suspect. There was a physical fight with the love of your life that was so bad you had to be moved to another. You had to be moved to another thing, and hours later, she's gone. She goes on to say, you've had plenty of time to update your profile pictures. He has. He had like he updated it to look like a divorced dad too from the suburbs, I guess, to make him look not threatening. You're letting suicide rumors circulate to save yourself because your statement says nothing about mental health. You're not mourning a loss. You're managing a PR crisis, and this ain't my first rodeo. Now let's decode this, because I'm glad she's confirming what a lot of us suspected. Joe is the one letting suicide rumors circulate to save himself. He knows that Ashlee didn't have mental health. He knows that she did not do a suicide. He knows. This is what Savannah Britt is suggesting. You're letting suicide rumors circulate to save yourself.
I like that. I like how Tisa said Sudi City. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but I need to steal that. They about to suicide them, they committed suicide. They had the Sudi City. Did I say it right, y'all? When I say Sudi City, y'all gonna know what I'm talking about, right? Press one if I said it good. Okay, I'm gonna use it in a sentence, class. All right. Um Sean John was in that jail and he got so tired he decided to sue city. Would y'all get what I'm talking about if I said it like that? Press 5 if you get it. Press 10 if you would not connect the dots. You'd be like, what the fuck? Sudi what? It sounds so good when Tisa's saying it. I don't know if I can, do it like her, but I definitely would love to steal that word, Sudi City. I like how that sounds.
Because honestly, Joe is a multimillionaire. Don't believe the people that say he's a scammer. He might be, but he's still a multimillionaire. He did not offer to cover her funeral, his fiance's funeral, to lay her rest. He did not pay for the family had to get a GoFundMe. He did not offer the family over. He did not hire a private investigator to clear his name and find who.
All right. So in this case, this is all about Tisa talking about the best friend speaking out. So she did that. So I want to go here to Fumi, and I guess I'll leave the guy for last.
In this episode, only because I woke up this morning to find out that Joe McCann, her former fiancé, has broken his silence with this statement. Let me read it for you. And this is what he had to say. There are no adequate words to describe the total devastation, emptiness, and shock I feel after losing my best friend, confidant, and fiancé. Ashlee Janae Robinson. As a father myself, I am also heartbroken for Ashlee's parents, Yolanda Endres and Henry Robinson. Ashlee's death is an incomprehensible tragedy. Devoted fans knew Ashlee through her charismatic online persona, Ashlee. But the person I loved was Ashlee with a Y. a woman who embodied the virtues of compassion, empathy, kindness, generosity, and love. A nurturing presence, Ashlee cared deeply for the people closest to her, which, to my eternal gratitude, included me. She fattened me up with her amazing cooking and had a great relationship with my kids. Each day, we shared both quiet moments of reflection and the many joys of being in love with each other. Ashlee was a loving soul, so much so that she called herself a lover gyal as an homage to her Trinidadian roots, in which she took great pride. What
So she's Trinidadian. Did you guys know she was Trinidadian? You know who else is Trinidadian? I believe Nicki Minaj is Trinidadian. You know, I had a date, a man I was dating with. I ain't never commit to him. He wanted me to commit to him, but why did I commit to the Trinidadian man? Well, first when I first met him, I felt he was too good for me, and then after a while, I just wanted it better. I felt like, if I can get him, it might be a better catch for me. It's always green on the other side. I do believe that. And I just felt like I can do better. Even though when I first met him, I felt like, you know, he was way better than me. I felt like, I'm like, why you want to date me? You could date way better than me. But now, I guess over time, I get used to shit and I just want better. But anyway, Trinidadian to me is close to South America. It's not really even close to North America. It's way, way in the south. But yeah, she's Trinidadian.
Ashlee desired most was to become a mother and to raise a family together. There is no question that she would have been an amazing mom. Ashlee's talents extended well beyond her online persona. Ashlee Janae. She was a creative genius, even writing, directing, and acting in her own short film. She was an incredible decorator, always making sure our home reflected the current holiday or season. Hosting was second nature to her, going above and beyond for the guests that we entertained. Ashlee also had an encyclopedic knowledge of music, especially her favorite band, Aerosmith. She enjoyed techno and dancing, was learning to DJ, could rap too. Ashlee was an angel who shined her light on everyone fortunate enough to be in her presence. There is no way.
I would have had more. I would have liked it, Joe, to get on camera to speak this. I feel like he knew that people were going to question his honesty and his truth by putting the typing in. People were going to assume it's Chat GPT. I felt like if he really wanted to make an impression, he would have came out on video. If I was him as a man, I would have came out on video and made an impression, and I would have took questions. I would have had a Q&A on a live stream, and I would have said, you guys can ask me anything, and I'm going to be open and honest about the situation. I say I just came in America. I was in Africa. They helped me in X, Y, and Z. And I would just talk to the people honestly if I really wanted to make a lasting impression and I wanted you guys to know the truth and that I didn't do anything. I think that's the good pivot to go. They say that Joe is good friends with people at TMZ. I mean, he could even did an interview at TMZ to say whatever. And I'm sure Joe being such a rich guy and having so many rich friends, he has friends in a lot of high places in social media and different places that is going to look out for Joe. And I'm sure behind the scenes, Joe is telling his own personal story.
To fill the unfillable void left by Ashlee's passing, and no way to make sense of this unfathomable loss. All we can do is carry on Ashlee's legacy of helping other people and strive to live up to her virtues every single day. Ashlee, I love you forever, Joe.
All right, she's gonna tell us how she feels about this. Someone says no sound. If you can go out and then come back out, that'd be appreciated. Exit out and just come back in. Oh, hey, Miss Parker, how are you? I'm glad that you can join us. Yeah. Did I go to the funeral? I was never invited, D Money. I wasn't invited. Did you go to the funeral, D Money? Did you go? How was the funeral, D Money? Thank you, Jug. Thank you so much, Jug. Come on, honey. Walk them down.
Joe, you had an Instagram account and you did not feature Ashlee once. Not once.
And that's his best friend.
For such a beautiful eulogy, I would have assumed that all these visual effects that you have given us of holidays, of homemaking, of singing, dancing, directorial filmmaking, and wonderful with your children, and the quiet moments and the noisy laughter in your house, that we would have had Kodak moments on your Instagram page. I say that because your face was flooded all over hers. Because all of this declaration, why didn't you do it when she was alive? This could have gone 100 different ways. You could have released a statement to the family because they did not hear from you after an 11-hour delay of their daughter's passing for you to say that she was okay. Quiet as it's kept, I think that she already passed away in the hotel. But we'll get to that. We are going to continue to dig. It doesn't matter to me that Ashlee is being laid to rest. We will continue to fight justice for her.
I know that's right.
And maybe in a corner somewhere, you decided, let me put this out. I don't know why. I don't know why you didn't do it sooner. Why did you wait for the day of her going away service that you decided to put this out? The family said, we have not heard from you. Crickets. You should have brought Ashlee back home. But I'm under the impression that you are being held now in Zanzibar because you have made a mess of that place. Because you have been doing this before. The thing was that Ashlee was not that girl. Ashlee was an island girl, Trinidadian girl. I've been to Jamaica, for those of my Jamaican followers. And I've
All right. So Smiles, she said she gave us some updates about Fumi live stream. So I'm gonna go there. I'm going to try to see if I can bring this up. I don't know if I can. Man, when I tell you, sometimes this Facebook and this Instagram, it's a lot. You know what? I'm going to have her, I'm going to play this and I'm going to send it to myself.
I've gone to Don's River. You are wonderful, and even so more beautiful, beautiful people. And that goes for the Trinidadians as well. But I will tell you this, as beautiful as they are, they will fight to the very last breath that they got. It's all coming to me. That you sent this has only exposed you all the more. It doesn't tell me that you know her. It doesn't tell me that you love her. Somebody that loved Ashlee would have been calling the embassies. You would have been screaming for help.
That's
People
right.
would not have even held you back
That's
because you're being
right.
detained as a witness. But the thing is that in Zanzibar, they said you have basically pooed in our front yard. We let you come here and you abused it and you weaponized it. And now we are in the glare of everybody.
That's
Because
right.
one thing is for sure, ladies and gentlemen, not all white people are bad. Not
That's
all white
right.
people are good.
That's
Not all
right.
black people are good. Not all black people are bad. Not all Africans are bad. Not every person in a country is bad. You've got the bad and the good and the indifferent.
I'm so glad that she said that. I'm so glad she didn't make it a white and black thing. I'm so glad that she wasn't race baiting. I can really appreciate that because every clear person is not bad. Every black man is not bad. You know, that's generalization. Of course, you know, that's dangerous. But in the world that we live in, and we have a president that generalize, you know, it's going to bring the spirit of generalization. And I do generalize when I'm mad or I'm irritated and I feel like it's a group of men up in my chat trolling me. I will generalize, and I just thought I would, man, I'm gonna go after your whole fucking group. Anybody gonna get it, and it don't matter what group. If it was a whole bunch of clear people up here and they was attacking me, I'm gonna attack the whole fucking group. I'm gonna say all of you motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Do I mean it? I don't mean it, but I'm in attack mode. So I'm gonna generalize like a motherfucker. But I'm glad that you know, she didn't race bait and she knows that not all, you know, clear white people are bad. Like some people are trying to push that narrative.
And the questionable everywhere in the world. Everywhere, in communities, in villages, in universities, in families. You've got it everywhere. But when something is wrong, something is wrong. When somebody does something bad, that person, that individual did something bad. And that is why this case is beyond simplicity. It's not cutthroat. This is a girl who went on holiday and came back in a casket. And the husband is being detained as a witness, they say. But they're like, you know what? You're going to have to clean this up. Let me move on. As you very well know,
Now she says the husband, they say, has been removed as let me play what she's saying.
something bad. And that is why this case is beyond simplicity. It's not cutthroat. This is a girl who went on holiday and came back in a casket. And the husband is being detained as a witness, they say. But
She said the husband is being detained as a witness, they say. The husband is being detained as a witness, they say. That's totally different from what Tisa is putting out. Tisa is saying that Joe is in America and he has his passport and he's free. So which one is it? It seems like FEMA and Queen Sheba is on the same side that Joe is still detained, and Tisa is on the side that Joe is free and he's in America. So I wonder who is telling the truth at this point. You know, what's going on?
they're like, you know what? You're going to have to clean this up. Let me move on. As you very well know, we have other YouTuber journalists out here who are doing a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. And we have.
Oh my God. Is this the part? All right, listen. I don't know if she's gonna say my name, but Smiles told me she gave me a shout out. Why am I so shy? It's like when people give me a shout out, I have an issue. It's like I can't accept compliments. I've always had that issue about myself. I don't know why, but I don't know. Sometimes it's really hard for me to accept compliments. Is anybody else like me? People like, you're so gorgeous, you're so this. And I'm like, okay, can you stop it? I be having a hard time to accept shit. You know, I can accept criticism. I'm more prone to accept negativity than positive. I got an issue with that. I will more accept negative and go wrestle versus separate. I know that's fucking crazy. But let's go.
Have Trent Out Loud. Trent Out Loud actually went.
Oh, she ain't even talking about my she ain't even talking about my ass at this point. Look, I'm over here about to look. Don't you know how somebody at the top and they about to give out an award and I'm over here getting prepared and they said the winner is and they don't even call your motherfucking name. You just That's funny. That's funny. Man, let me fast forward this shit. Look, what's this?
The same embrace. I'm praying your soul finds peace and that your family gets justice and answers they deserve. I don't even have the words. Just thank you for the light you brought into this world.
All right, so these are some photos inside. I don't know who that is.
I know you'll continue to shine and protect everyone you loved.
But the casket is inside is white and pink. That looks so pretty. It looked like a nice pretty cake. I like a white and pink cake.
Even in the afterlife. Had a sister. We don't even know if she had a brother. We don't know how many sisters or brothers that she had.
So this must be her friend wedding. Or somebody wedding she know.
This is a family that is crying. This is a community that is weeping.
And I'll start this video off just like how we started off yesterday inside, and also today again there was more media. I'm on a school.
All right, well let's just go to Trent. All right, so this is Trent. This is his latest update. He posted this 3 hours ago.
Joe McCann has finally broken his silence. Yesterday, Joe McCann posted this lengthy letter to Ashlee on Twitter, but it's not so much about what he said, but more about what he didn't say. And was that letter really for Ashlee, or was it damage control for articles like this? Iggy Azalea, who has admitted to having ties and business relations with Joe McCann, was sued yesterday over crypto corruption. Does this have something to do with Joe and potentially why he wrote that letter to Ashlee? We finally have some more information on Joe McCann. There is a ton of new information pouring in. Sit back, relax. I'll tell you everything that you need to know, and then I'll hand it off to you, the Out Louders, to let me know what you think in the comment section.
All right, Out Louders. That's what he called his people. Come on, Out Louders.
Below. Before I start talking about them below in the comment section and pin it for you guys, for those who haven't seen it, we were there on Monday and Tuesday. And when I did my last video, I let you guys know that I was going to the repass. There was nothing to report. Family, friends, everybody was eating. I was there for like half an hour and I just let them to be amongst themselves. But when I was there and leaving, a number of Ashlee's family and friends stopped me and said, "Hey, are you Trent Out Loud? Watch your videos. Thank you so much for covering this, bringing attention to this, and the way that you're doing it is so respectful to the family. We appreciate you." And a couple of them said that they are this channel is the only channel they're watching for their Ashlee Janae.
Ooh, I know that's right, honey. Did y'all hear that shit? Ooh, they not watching Tisa Tales. They not watching Fumi. They not watching Queen Sheba. They watching Trent Out Loud only. Ooh. They not watching Reno. They watching what? Trent Out Loud only. Ooh, that's some messy shit right there. Well, I guess we may as well just pack it up, y'all. Let Trent handle this shit. Okay. Ooh, you better not let everybody else hear that. Okay. Yeah, the family said they're not watching Tisa or Queen or Phoebe. They only watching Trent Out Loud. Let's go.
Coverage, and they've even said that I have brought to them things that they didn't even know. And more importantly, the reason why I want to let you guys know about this is they also said how much they appreciate you guys, the out louders. They say not only do we do a good job at reporting and respecting the family, but they said the comment section is amazing and so respectful of the family and not putting out salacious things or salacious comments. So I want to thank you guys, the followers, the out louders, the commenters, the new people here. As you guys know, that we're trying to build a platform in reporting.
Oh, what? Reno and his opinions about Queen. What did he say about Queen? What did he say about Trent and food? What? I didn't even know they had an issue. Damn. Okay, look. Please do not activate my messy side. I'm trying to be, peaceful. Okay.
And doing our job, but also being obviously very respectful to whoever it is that we're reporting on. So thank all of you out there for clicking and commenting and keeping things respectful. Let's go on to talking about Joe McCann. Now, of course, there's a lot of speculation of where is Joe? Is he charged? Is he in jail? Does he have his passport back? We're going to get to that. Just give me a second. I'm going to read the letter that he posted to Ashlee and kind of like to her family and friends.
Hold the fuck up. Hold on. CJ the cat. Queen threatened to take him to court. Who? I know you're not talking about Queen Sheba. What? Queen Sheba, who she gonna take to court, child? Man. What the hell y'all got going on? What the hell? What in the hell? Oh my God. Y'all fake, you gotta see it. They said he mentioned you too, Gigi. Reno did say y'all all fake, you gotta see it. Oh, I don't want to see it. If a motherfucker talk about me, that's their business. That's their problem. That's their issue. That's not my issue. Somebody talking about me,
Just for the people who have not heard it yet. Okay, so this is Joe's Twitter account. Joe says, there is no adequate words to describe the total devastation, emptiness, and shock I feel after losing my best friend, confidant, and fiance, Ashlee Janae Robinson. By the way, just to note, he is writing Ashlee Janae Robinson in the proper way that she spells her name. Ashlee is her Instagram or stage name. I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, he's spelling it the wrong way. How disrespectful. This is actually the proper way to spell it. You'll see here on the program, this is how her parents spelt it, okay? Just want to clarify that. As a father myself, I am also...
okay, so he's reading Joe. We already heard of Fema, how I pronounce the name, Fema? We already heard, she read it, and she did a good job reading that. So I just want to know his opinion about it because she did a phenomenal job reading that.
Now, before we get into where Joe is and his status and what's going on, I just want to highlight this Fortune article. Now, this came out in April, but it's kind of getting a little bit viral and people are talking about it again. I'm just going to give you highlights of articles like this so you can understand the situation Joe is in. He founded Asymmetric Financial in 2002. He raised money for big names in the crypto world, and his fund nearly doubled in value. And he had a very strong persona in the crypto world. By mid-2025, things went left. The fund lost massive value, up to 80% loss. He tried to pivot investors into a new project, not buying the story, but he has. And the question is, what was the argument about? And what could have happened during the argument to make Joe come back from his villa that was 8 or 10 minutes away and do this to Ashlee. That is why I read the Fortune article. What?
Now, hold on. Now, Trent said, what did he do to make Joe come back? As I thought they said they were not separated. Which one is it? Were they separated or not separated? Queen said they were not separated. Now, Trent seems like he got the impression that they were separated and he came back. From Queen, I got the impression where they were never separated. They fought and he unalived her in that same hotel room and then he wrapped her body up in the sheets. But Trent is the only one that's talking to the parents. So it seemed like Trent parents still feel that they did separate because he is in cahoots with the parents and he watches everything. And I'm sure Trent asked them, so what do you think about, what Queen Sheba said, that they were not separated, So it looked like Trent do not really believe Queen Sheba. It seemed like Tisa does not believe Queen Sheba. And it looked like Femi is really not going. Well, no, I feel like Phoebe is going with Queen Sheba. I feel like Fema, she, honey, I don't know, honey. I guess I keep on juggling these three. Who is it? Who's the three? No, it's four of them. It's Femi, it's Trent, Tisa, and Queen. Those are the four, leaders. Those are the four people that are credible and that really talks about this case. That's really doing it. So I'm just gonna say those four.
What could have made him come back is they could have had an argument together. The argument could have been about a girl or a guy, she cheating or he cheating, and there's an argument. And I think Ashlee said something to him about his business. Said something like, yo, you keep doing this with these girls? Yo, I'm going to tell this guy or that guy what you did with his money. I'm going to tell them how you didn't lose money, but you have your money stashed away somewhere. Or you're doing this or not to it. She said something that was so important to Joe, or so not so important, but so damning to Joe and his money. Y'all know how those crypto guys are, or these money guys are. Are you kidding me? You say one thing that could cripple, expose them, or do whatever, it's done for you. That is what I think. I really do not think that he would come back and unalive her for somebody sliding into her DMs, or even if she cheated or he cheated. That is what the argument was about, yes. But what would make Joe snap and either pay somebody to do something and or him coming back and doing something? You would have to talk about Joe and his money. There's a lot of stuff going on with his crypto stuff. That's what I believe.
All right. Well, we just have to figure it out. Well, those are the four people I like. I like Queen. I like Tisa. I like Fumi. And I like Trent. So I'm going to stay following them. Okay? Okay? Fuck what you heard. That's who I'm going to continue to follow. Even though within the four, they have different opinions and different beliefs. And I'm just going to, talk about it with you guys and just do what I always do. All right, y'all. So, honey, what do y'all think about all of this? And I just want to say, oh my God, Chronicles. Chronicle Speaks. Okay, number 5. Because Chronicle Speaks, when I tell you she be knowing her stuff too, I can't forget about my boo Chronicle Speaks. So let's hear what she has to say.
Authorities in Tanzania have remained extremely quiet regarding this investigation. Now, we still have not seen any official autopsy results, no confirmed release of surveillance footage from the villa, and no detailed explanation about who may have entered or exited the property during the time surrounding Ashlee's death. Now, at the beginning of the case, authorities reportedly leaned towards ruling her death as a self-inflicted incident, but after heavy backlash and growing concerns across social media, the situation appeared to shift, and investigators stated that they would take a deeper look into what really happened. Now, meanwhile, Ashlee's fiance, Mr. Joe McCann, who traveled to Tanzania with her, was reportedly questioned by authorities and had his passport temporarily withheld during the investigation. However, it now appears that restrictions may have been lifted because Joe has returned online, posting emotional.
Uh-oh. You heard that? Chronicle Speak said it looks like, restriction may be released because he's posting online. And that goes towards the Tisa Tales theory. So that's interesting.
Tributes and presenting himself as a grieving fiance, devastated by the loss of the woman he called his best friend. And just in a moment, we are going to get into that statement he recently shared because a lot of people online have strong reactions to it. But before we do that, I just want to first acknowledge Ashlee's family because this week they have laid their loved one to rest. According to those close to the family, a viewing was held on Monday, followed by a funeral service on Tuesday, and many described it as a peaceful and emotional send-off for a beautiful young woman whose life was cut tragically short far too soon. Supporters, friends, and loved ones have continued flooding social media with condolences, memories, and questions surrounding what really happened during that trip to Tanzania. And despite the funeral now taking place, many people still feel like they are waiting for answers. Now, we all know that there was an autopsy that was conducted back in Tanzania shortly after Ashlee Janae's passing. And in my personal opinion, if this truly was the open and shut case that authorities initially tried to make it seem like, then at the very least, the family would have already received clear answers by now. But that has not happened. Now, according to an outlet in Tanzania, the Tanzanian autopsy was completed April 14th, and they had the cause of death listed as cerebral hypoxia due to strangulation and suffocation. However, those findings have not been independently verified. Now, the Tanzanian authorities have not been very forthcoming to Ashlee's family regarding the investigation of what happened.
All right. So basically, she just saying, well, what the other ones are saying. And they need to get it verified. The autopsy, they said that she passed away through, suicidity. Did I say that shit right? What Tisa be saying? Suicidity. She passed away from suicidity. And Chronicle Speaks that they need to verify, and I agree. You need to verify that. Now I see somebody in the chat says, you cannot change your mind what you believe, and I respect it. It says everyone has their suspicion at this point. We don't know factual yet. Their insider may not be telling them the facts. We need video from hotel, her phone records, and her autopsy. Yup. And I would say everybody, Queen Sheba, Tisa, keep on working at it. I mean, as long as you guys are doing the work, and if people telling y'all lies, you didn't know it was a lie. You just doing your best job trying to cover the case. And I want you to continue to cover. I want you to keep on covering it. Okay. Don't stop. Don't get discouraged. It was another person, Chad. All right. Nicole says, but he could have had a publicist. Yeah, he could have, and he could not. We don't know. We don't know if he got it published. We don't know if he did it himself. But people have the right to believe that he did it himself. And people feel like he did it himself. And he's out. Some people feel like he got somebody else to be on his stuff. So either one could be possible. It's just really what you believe. So that's how that works. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get on out of here. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next round. Bye-bye.